Hello, 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 everyone. Let's see who's gonna join us. All right. Looks like we are officially live. I'm gonna go ahead and share with our group and our team so that everybody can find us. There it is. All right. Groups. There they are. And VIP. And there we go. Creative Arts. Hey, Deb. So glad you could join. Glad you could find me. I know I was a little late putting it out there that I would be live today. And kind of a slow day. It's rainy. It's icky. It's cool and damp and just Tucker, come on. He's trying to get out. Hang on just a moment, please. I got to let Tucker out. He doesn't want to be here with us. Whatever he said. Father Daddy. Okay, let's get back to the fun. I have some new product to share out of the new catalog that will be going live on Tuesday. Tuesday, the new annual catalog. I have the sealed one so that I don't accidentally show the inside of the catalog because there's so much awesomeness in here. If you still need a catalog and have not received one, please let me know and I will get one out to you right away. Because again, so much awesomeness in here. Okay, so let's quickly talk about our paper pumpkin. We are now in the May subscription period. Holy moly, can you believe it is May already? May the 4th, no less. And we are in the May subscription period, which is the Mountain Majesties. So if you are not a current subscriber and you love the masculine theme of this, you're going to want to get in before or by May 10th to get in on this particular kit. Hey, Sue. Hey, Miss Arlene. So glad you could join. So with the Mountain Majesties, you're going to get a Father's Day theme. You're going to make 9 cards, 3 each of 3 designs with 9 coordinating envelopes. You're going to get pre-cut vellum and paper pieces. There's going to be watercolor card bases and coordinating envelopes. The coordinating colors will be basic black, Lost Lagoon, Misty Moonlight, Mossy Meadow, Pecan Pie, and Petal Pink. Ink spot being Moonlight, Misty Moonlight. Ooh. All right, so there's that. So again, Paper Pumpkin is a subscription service. You can do it at prepaid. You can do it month by month. You can cancel at any time, but it's just some happiness that comes in the box. You don't have to think hard. You just open your box and you start creating. Next, we have more online exclusives coming. This is just a very limited example of what's coming Tuesday, in addition to our catalog, we do have a large release of online exclusives coming. So Tuesday after 8 a.m., I think you're going to want to check online to see what has dropped. Because again, there's going to be a very large number of online exclusives in addition to the catalog itself going live. And there's so much gorgeousness. We are using tonight the Strawberry Slush and Pretty in Pink gems because there is some clear ones in there. So we'll be using those tonight. So just a little introduction to some of the new stuff. I didn't get crazy this month, but trying to control myself with my spending. But oh my God, there's so much amazing stuff coming and I just can't even. In addition to all of that, we do have, where did it go? There it is. Go up. There it is. The Stampin' Up! Is going to have a new join special. And this begins on Tuesday as well. It will run for the entire month of May. Where did I put? I believe it is 166. Hang on, I'll be able to tell you in just a minute. You are going to be able to order $165 worth of product, and you're going to pay $99. And of course, free shipping. You're going to get a free paper pumpkin and all of your business supplies for $99. So $165 from product. You pick anything you want from the new catalog, from what's online, from the clearance rack. You can go to anywhere that has got product, order it, $165 worth of it. You're going to pay $99 plus tax, but you're going to get free shipping, and you're going to have the opportunity to be a demonstrator. And again, you can be any kind of demonstrator you want. You can be just your own best customer demonstrator. You can be a business builder. It's all in how you choose to take this opportunity and make it work for yourself. But again, it's $99 to join, and you get a fabulous discount. After that $165 in product, you do get a 20% discount. And then it does go up to a 25% discount if you remain consistent in your sales and purchases. So just something to think about. If it is something that is on your radar, please reach out to me. I would love to chat with you to see if this could be your thing. All right. Moving back to our, let's see, how do we get back there? There we go. Colors, new in colors have hit the store starting Tuesday. We are going to be missing one ink pad, and it is the cloud cover ink pad. Oh, hey, Kay. So glad to see you join us over there on YouTube. Glad to have you. So with the new cloud cover, they did find some inconsistency in the stability of the ink color. So they have removed the ink pad for the time being while their color engineers work through that. And hopefully it's not another one like we did have a few years ago with the purple posy, I think it was. It never was able to come back. They tried bringing it back a couple times, and it was just the ink color stability was not there. The color shifted. So that's what they're incurring right now with this cloud cover. So we do have it, however, in an ink spot that's going to be in the catalog. Oh, hey, Lori. And we still have it in our Stampin' Right marker. And it is a really pretty, kind of a grayish blue. Probably easier to see it on the cardstock. So we do still have the cardstock color as well. So this is cloud cover. So this is the one that we are missing the ink pad for right at the time being. The other color is a returning favorite, Strawberry Slush. Who remembers Strawberry Slush? That was probably my second or third year as a demonstrator that Strawberry Slush came out. Then we have this beautiful Secret Sea, which is a deep dark blue. And I do have some samples to show you with this. This one here is Darling Duckling. And then, of course, we have Timid Tiger, which is a really pretty peachy tangerine color type here. So I do have some stamped images to kind of show you the differences in our colors. So starting with the Secret Sea. So this here is Secret Sea, this really deep dark blue. This is in how it compares to Night of Navy, Misty Moonlight, and Blueberry Bushel. So you can see it is different from those three other colors. So this is Secret Sea, a very, very deep, deep, dark blue. And I love it. Been waiting for a really deep blue like that. Then we have here, this is our Timid Tiger. My pumpkin pie, obviously, I have recently refilled this. It looks like I'm going to need a new ink pad. So I'm going to be ordering that up my next order. But to give you kind of an idea, even though it's been refilled and it's just not picking up the color well. This is Timid Tiger, Pumpkin Pie. This is the pecan or peach pie, excuse me, pecan. Oh my gosh. That's peach pie, and then Calypso Coral. And you can see I didn't have my cushion underneath when I was doing my stamping, so shame on me. But love that Timid Tiger. That's a really pretty color. This, the Secret Sea, maybe in the video it looks almost black, but you can definitely see that it's a shade of blue. I don't know if I get it up closer, if you can see that better. But yeah, I guess on the video it does kind of have a black look, but it really, in person, it's not black at all. Then if I flip this over, this is the Darling Duckling, and I compared it to Daffodil Delight, Lemon Lolly, and then Crushed Curry. So that's the Darling Duckling. And then we have our Strawberry Slush compared to Melon Mambo, compared to Flirty Flamingo, compared to Pretty in Pink. I don't know if anybody remembers. I think it was Rose Quartz? Rose. There was a rose color. Not Rococo Rose, but there was another rose color early up. This kind of reminds me of that, but it is still different. And I have to find my old rose pad to show you the difference. But there is definitely a difference because I did that comparison the first time Strawberry Slush came out. But it is similar, but different from what we currently have. So if that is a color that floats your boat, there we have it. All right. That's that for colors. Let's get everything out here. Okay. I need to get to you. Oop. Just put my cutter there for just a minute. One of the other bundles that I did get is this really adorable party pig. Check her out. She's so cute. She comes in like her head and her body are separate, so you could do like different positions with her head. What shaking bacon? I am so proud of you. Let's party. Happy birthday to you. There's some like little confettis, the little flags, the party hat. She is adorable. And then to make it even more adorable, she can be a shaker card. And we have dies to cut out her body, her head, her flags, her party hat. And then see this little circle die that fits perfectly in her belly. And once you cut out her little belly, we have these little shaker domes that fit inside her belly. And then you can fill with all kinds of shaker bits. And you'd have a fun little piggy party going on. Nope, Rose Petal wasn't the name of it. Rose Red, that might be the name, Arlene. I'd have to go back and look. Like I said, I got all my old pads piled around here. I just have to pull them out. All right, so that's one of the stamp bundles that I did get. The other two that I received are these two here. Sentimental Framing, which is a bundle. It comes with these beautiful frame dies. We are using the stamp set tonight. We are not using the dies tonight, but aren't these gorgeous? Look at the patterns on here. So they have like these little stitched patterns. There's this little rectangle, then there's this frame here, and then this frame, and then you have these pieces. Love, 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 love. Yeah, Rococo Rose was a more recent color, but that's not the one I was thinking of. So there was an older one that was probably like around 2012, 2013, probably like 2013. It was when I first started Stampin' Up. It was like an outgoing color. Well, I'll find it. All right. On to our evening. So I am using both of these stamp sets, the Sentimental framing and the right words for tonight's projects. And I also brought in the images, these little rose images from the Everyday You and Me. And our cards tonight, like I promised, 2 really cool fun folds. Oh, so first one is a tent. What do we call it? A tent fold step card. So it stands up like so, but it's got this little tent fold here. So it stands up. That says, wishing you all the best. And then we have, this one's called the double column card. This was a Connie Stewart fun fold that I thought was really cute. It folds nice and flat, but then it pops up. You're probably right, Arlene. I think that might have been it. Rose red. Mellow Moss isn't ringing my bell so much. There was a blue that was really pretty that retired with it that I loved. But anyways, this one says, sending good vibes. I know good things when I see it, and I see lots of good things in you, and then thinking of you. So that's how this one displays. Is that not the coolest though? But it does fold down nice and flat so you can mail it. And then it just pops up. That Connie Stewart, she's a genius. So we're going to make that one as well. So we're going to start with our blue card here. And we need our cutter because we're doing this from scratch. We're starting with our tent fold step card. So here's the instructions right here. So if you need to take a little screenshot, you can. I got this design from Karen Titus, another fabulous demonstrator who shares amazing works. So I have all my little pieces here. So we're going to start with our card base. This is cut 4 1/4 by 11. And then we need to do, yes, rose red. You are right, Kay. All right. Thank you, ladies. I appreciate all your assistance. So we do need to make sure we bring out the arm on our trimmer here because we're going to need our whole thing. I'm going to bring this out of the way for just a minute. All right. So we have our trimmer. And we need our card base, like I said, 4 1/4 by 11. And we're going to do a little bit of scoring. So we're going to start. I gave myself enough room here. Get out of the way. All right. So we're going to start at 4 inches. So you're going to go to 4. Make sure you're using your scoring blade, not your trimming blade, or you'll be having little tears. And I am using that C. Oh my gosh, lost the name of it already. C. Oh my goodness. Secret C. Cardstock. This is Secret C. Thank you, Kay. I appreciate you sharing. Okay, so we're going to go 4. Then we're going to do 8. Then 9. And then 9 3/4, which is right there. Okay. So those are our score lines. We can set our trimmer aside for just a few minutes. And we are going to fold on our score line. So our first score line, we're going to fold down like so. And then we're going to up and then down and down. Right? Nope, that was wrong. This one goes up. This one goes down, and that one goes up. And that goes back. I get so confused with my mountains and my valleys. Okay. That is not right. No, this one goes this way. Yep, that goes up. And that one goes down. Wow. Should have done this earlier. Again. Oh, thank you, Joan. Okay. So there we have it. So this square line folds up. This one folds up. This one folds down. So it folds like so. And then it just sits on its little bottom as a tent. I don't know if you can see that. Let me see if I can show you that. So you see how that fits? So again, up, back, and like so. So you should see your card like that. And then when it comes down, this sits like so. And I'll set that aside so you can see that. Okay. Now, we have some of our designer series paper, and I'm using the Thoughtful Journey from the the Going Out annual catalog. It's found on page 47. I don't think this one is going to carry on. I think this might be on Last Chance, but I can't swear to it. I have 2 pieces of cardstock that I did cut 3.5 by 3 3/4, and you guys are going to decide which color I'm going to use. Now, on this card, I did use the Secret C. However, I don't know. I think maybe the cloud would pop out a little bit more. What do you think? Should we keep with the Secret C, or do we add a piece of the cloud? Tell me what your thoughts are. Give everybody a couple of minutes to vote and tell me what you think. Arlene likes the cloud. Lori likes the cloud. Sherry likes the cloud. Clay likes Secret C. All right, I'm going to give you one more second to decide. I got another. Susan wants to see the choices again. Okay, so this is the Secret C. So that's Secret C. Oh, hey, sis. And this is the cloud. Susan's for the cloud. All right, I think the cloud is winning. So we're going to go ahead and use our cloud this time. All right, so we're going to add our adhesive. And try to get this on here straight. There we go. The cloud wins. Okay, so now we're just going to add. Oop. Hate when that happens. Okay. And then this is just going to center on our card front. And then I have another piece of basic white. This is also 3.5 by 3 3/4. And this will go on the inside of our card. And that goes right here. And then for the front, I have a little piece of designer stitch paper. This is 3 3/4 long by 1 inch wide. And that's going to go right on this little panel here. Like so. And then tell me I did not grab my 1/2 inch scrap. I didn't. Let me just grab that. I always have lots of strips right here. And that's what this is. This is just a 1/2 inch piece of basic white. And we need our Secret C. And is that? Here it is. This is our Wishing You the Best. So we have our Secret C. And that's very juicy, so we just need to lightly tap that. I apologize if my head is in the way. wishing you the best. We can close that up. Okay, snips. And all I did was take my snips and just cut that off at an angle. That goes back into the scrap pile because we can use that for another sentiment another day. And we're going to use dimensionals peel off those backings. And then that. And another brand new product we have here. I can show you these. We have these here. These are the strawberry slush and pretty in pink dots. Love these. Gorgeous. Sparkle. Then, of course, we have these are the 2025-2027 in color flat pearls. We're using these. And then, of course, there's these here holographic resin dots. Did not use these tonight, but oh, I love those already. All right, so for these ones, we're going to use these in color dots. We're going to use the cloud and the secret sea. So, where did I put? There it is. Take your pick tool. We need one of these, one of these. And there is our tent card. Cute. And like I said, folds flat. So for easy mailing, won't cost any extra postage. And it stands up like so. Well, thank you, Arlene. And I will put those measurements back here one more time so you can clearly get a screenshot of those if you would like. Actually, let me bring them closer to the camera, and that way you can see them nice and clear on how to do that. Thank you, Susan. Okay. We are on to card number 2. I didn't know how long these cards would take, so we are only doing the 2 cards tonight because I didn't want to keep you guys here for 2 hours. So, one it is. The next one here, so we'll put these aside for a few minutes. We have here our double column card. Again, I got this one from Connie Stewart. And I thought it was a really cool fold because, again, folds nice and flat. Sending good vibes. I know a good thing when I see it. And I see a lot of good things in you and thinking of you. So, again, just a really fun card. And I got the images from the Everyday You and Me, which is an online exclusive. And there you have it. All right, so again, hold that up so you can get your screenshots if you would like to reproduce this card. There are the measurements. And I'm going to bring in my little packet. So card base is 10 3/8 by 5.5. Mine happens to be Berry Burst is the color I'm using. And I'm using some designer paper from the Full of Life from the annual catalog. Also, one that is going out of, I believe, is retiring. So it's on last chance. Again, you'll find it on page 43 of the outgoing annual catalog. Lots of colors in here. And this one here is like this little alcohol ink splotch on the back of this here. And the 6x6 piece of paper, I did cut it to, let's see, we have 3 by 5 1/4. So this is 3 by 5 1/4. And then I have 4 strips that all measure a 1/2 inch by 5 1/4. Then I have, in basic white, I have 3 by 5 1/4, a 2 1/4 by 2 3/4. And then I have this 1/2 inch by 3. And those are all the pieces we're going to stamp on. Then I have, these are the rest of my, there's 4 of those. I have a piece of Berry Burst that is 3/4 by 3 1/4. This piece is 6 1/4 by 3. And this piece is the 10 3/8 by 5 1/2. And we're going to do some scoring on both of these pieces. So we're going to take all these other pieces and just set them aside for a few. So we'll set these over here for just a little bit. We're going to start with our card base. And we need our trimmer. So we can do all of our scoring. Well, thank you, Kay. I'm glad you liked it. And thank you, Susan. I'm glad you liked the colors. Okay, I'm going to make sure we're not getting that cutting blade in the way. We are using our scoring blade, and we're going to start with our score at 3/4. So I like to use the 3/4 inch on the right side of my trimmer. So we're going to move it over here to 3/4, and we're going to go ahead and score. Then we're going to flip our cardstock all the way around. And now we're going to open up our arm because we do have to go out there a little bit. But let me put that out of the way. And now our next score line is at 1.5. So put that at 1.5 is right there. Or then 2 1/4. Right there. Then we want 3 inches. And then we want 7 1/8. So we go all the way to 7 1/8, which is right between the 7 and the 7 1/4 right there. And we go ahead and score. While we have our trimmer up here, we're going to take our next piece, which is 6 1/4 by 3 inches, and we're going to score this one as well. And again, we're going to start with our 3/4 inch score at the right side of our trimmer, flip it around, and we're going to go at 1.5 again. Two 1/4, just right there, and 3 inches. That's all we need to do for score lines. That goes there. Now we can bring in our bone folder again, and we're going to fold on all of our score lines. So that one folds in, and then this one, they all fold in. So this one's a really easy fold. Like so. And this is what makes our column here. Whoop. Like so. But before we get into putting that together, let's go ahead and fold all these, and then we'll do our stamping and decorating, and then you'll see how this comes together. So again, all of our little score lines. All right. So now we can set that aside for a moment. We're going to bring back our pieces here. So we have designer pieces. Those can go there. We have all of our little pieces here, but I want to bring in my cushion. There we go. Put it on our cover. All right, so we have these 3 little pieces. All right, let's see. We need that sentiment, that. We have here. I have Misty Moonlight, Berry Burst, and Garden Green are my colors. And here that I need. So we're going to start. That goes that way. Oh, goodness. Let's see. Let's start with this piece here. So for that, we're going to use our Berry Burst. And again, very juicy. Okay, get the large one. Oop. There's that one. Oh, since we have it out, we might as well do this one too. So I got the little rose again. And that's going to stamp right there on the corner of this smaller piece. And since we did that, we're going to do our sentiment, which is the I know good things. So we're going to set that up. When you have the red rubber, you don't need the cushion. And somehow I managed to spatter a little blob of ink there. I don't know how I did that, but Okay. Close up this for now. And then we need our little leaf. And we're gonna ink that up in garden green. And that's gonna go right here. And then let's see. We did that right there. I can't. Gotta bring this down where I can see what I'm doing here. I cannot see. There we go. Clean this one off. And then we need other leaf. We're gonna ink this up also in garden green. And then this one. Center. Come on. There, that looks better. And then this one. Come in just like so. Okay. Next, we need the thinking of you, and that's going to be in Misty Moonlight. Ta-da! Okay, and then our sentiment, which is sending good vibes, will be in Berry Burst. Okay. Oop. There's our sending good vibes. Okay, all of our stamping is now complete. Get that out of the way. And now we can assemble. So now we have our card. This panel here goes on our little door here, I guess you could call it, or flap. There's that piece. All right. Next, we're going to start with our little panels here. So Let's see. Kind of want to keep them in somewhat of order in which I cut them. Maybe not. It's not necessary. Just gonna try to do that. I think I figured it out. There we go. Okay. Again, this is not important to do. It just adds a little extra something to it. How am I doing on time? Can't see my. Oh, we're not doing bad. We're doing okay. Okay. So we're going to take this one here, and that's going to go there. This one. There we go. And then we want this one. All right, so I'm skipping this one because this one's going to get adhered down. But we're putting this one here. And you'll see why I'm skipping this one here in a bit. All right, so this one, we're going to, this one's going to go there. So I want this. There we go. Okay. All right, so we're just going to add, probably should use tear tape for this, but we're just going to use our adhesive. So we want to add our adhesive, and then we're just going to flip that over like so. And then that should pop right up and make our, and it does, makes our little tube there, column. All right. This one here, this is going to go right along here. Okay. Next, we can go ahead and put this on our front. So let's do this. We layer this. Keeps moving. There we are. And then we're just going to adhere this flat. And basically, everything should just line up like so. Okay. Next is this here piece. And so we're going to do the same thing as we did before. We're just going to flatten that out. That goes down. You now have our little tube here. And let me think. Yeah, this is. So this gets. Yeah. All right, so now we have to flatten this out. And this comes down here on the bottom. And you line this up with that score line on the bottom of your cardstock here. And this lays flat like so. So then it pops up like that. Now we're going to go ahead and take this other piece of 1/2 inch by 5 1/4 designer paper. You're going to run this right over the top of that. And then this goes on like so. So there's your card front. It opens up like so. All right, and just to finish it up, we're going to add put them. Oh, just have them. Like literally just have them in my hands. I showed you. Oh, the pretty, there they are. So these are the strawberry slush and pretty in pink gems. And we're using the clear ones. We have the clear, pretty in pink, and strawberry slush. And just flatten that out for a second. Bring it in there. I think I want to do. Oop. That did not come up with a glue dot. Let's try it again. Perfect. There we go. And that finishes card number 2. How'd we do? I'm glad you ladies liked it. I kind of thought you might. Fun folds are fun sometimes. It's not my usual go-to because, you know, I like quick and simple. I like to be quick, fast. But these ones were not complicated at all. And sometimes you just have to do something fun. And that's what we did here tonight. Fun. All right, quick recap. So we have our double column card, compliments of the great Connie Stewart. And then we have our tent fold step card. And this was a design by the great Karen Titus. So should stand right there. There we go. Thank you, Susan. I'm glad you like it. Thank you, Kay. Absolutely. It's my pleasure to share. I look forward to our Sundays together. Here we are. Well, that is all I have for you this evening, ladies. And again, I thank you so very much for coming to hang out with me on a Sunday evening. I don't know what it's like where you are, but here it is. Gloomy, cold, rainy, nasty, kind of a day. But it was a good day to be hanging out in the craft room and playing with some fun folds. And I appreciate you to come hang out with me. I wish you a grand rest of your evening and an even better week ahead. And God willing, I will be back on Sunday next week with some more fun to share with you from the new catalog. I have another order arriving on Thursday with more fun stuff. So you too, Kay. All right, guys, thank you and have a great evening. Bye for now.